everyone, so let's just jump into it. I'm using the shade Sweet Tea from my Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette, and I'm just going to be using this shade as my transition shade and buffing that all into my crease. So I keep going back and forth and adding the shade and dipping my brush back into that shade, and I keep adding more color just because I want this to really pop in my crease, and you really want to see that Sweet Tea shade. Next shadow is by Mary Kay, is Cinnabar, and it's just this deep chocolate, and I am placing that in my outer V area and slightly bringing that into my crease. And I keep dipping my brush back into that shadow again and making it more deeper in my crease. Then I jump into Sweet Tea and buff any harsh lines I see. Then I'll do the other eye. Taking my Sephora Luminizing palette, I'm using this really light highlighter and placing that on my brow bone, and I do end up using it as my inner corner shade, you'll see. And I brush out any harsh lines. Then I'll go into my Naked 2 palette and use the Blackout shade and just use this sort of as a smoked out liner effect, and I'm just taking that close to my lash line and buffing that up. And then I go back to that Cinnabar shade and just deepen that color up a little. Same thing here, I'm just going back to Blackout and deepening up the black, and going back to Cinnabar, deepening that up, and then going back to the Sweet Tea, deepening out my crease area and making everything just seamless and no harsh lines, and blend it out. Now to cut the crease, I am taking my Maybelline Fit Me concealer. It's such a creamy concealer and liquidy, and I love using liquid concealers for a cut crease. So I do look up to get my shape of the crease area I want, and yeah, so I'm just cutting my crease. Going back to my Naked 2 palette, I'm using Suspect for my cut crease shade. I go back and touch up my crease and my brow bone and buff out any harsh lines. For mascara, I'm using my Maybelline the Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara. And I'm just rocking my natural lashes today and leaving it at that. I don't have any falsies at the moment, so I need to restock on that. And then I just use that highlighter as my inner corner shade. Moving on to the face, I'm taking my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. For foundation, I'm taking my NYX Total Control Foundation in Classic Tan, and I'm buffing that out with my Real Techniques face brush. For concealer, I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light. Place that on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, underneath my eyes, on the sides of my nose, sides of my mouth, and my chin. For contour, I'm using my Fit Me Shine Free Balance Foundation stick in the shade Coconut, and I'm placing that on my temples. I am contouring that with my nose, on my chin, and the hollows of my cheeks. To set my face, I am using my Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Fair Light, and I'm using a dry beauty blender just to set my face. I dust any excess powder off using my Makeup Essentials Contour Kit. I'm using that middle brown shade and using that to bronze up the skin and set that contour cream. Highlighter, I'm using my Maybelline Master Chrome, and I'm placing that highlighter on my nose and above my eyebrows, on my cheekbones, and a little on the apples of my cheeks, just so when we smile we get that glow, and on my chin. To set my eyebrows and make them come back to life with a little tint, I'm using my 3D Browtones from Benefit in the shade 4. So I take some black eyeliner and tightline my waterline, and I go into Sweet Tea and buff out my lower lash. Then I'll go into Cinnabar and buff that out, and then Blackout and also buff that shade, and just have a smoky lower lash. Then I will apply some of my mascara. Moving on to blush, I'm using my Tarte blush in Party and just applying that on the apples of my cheeks and blending that in. To line my lips, I'm using my Revlon Colorstay lip liner in the shade Sienna Ochre and just lining my lips with that. And I'll be using my Makeup Mua Lipstick in the shade 515. Then I'll be taking my Love Me Makeup Essentials lip gloss. After that, I just bake under my contour and clean that up. And that's it for this finished look, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Love you guys. Bye.